Let's be brutally honest. Breakups aren't always about heartbreak. Sometimes they're about power, control, who gets the last word, the final image, the upper hand. And when a woman can no longer access your emotions directly, she doesn't let it go. She adapts, she repositions, she finds new angles. And one of the most silent yet revealing ones? She starts asking mutual friends about you. Now, that might sound harmless, innocent even. She just brought up your name, someone might say. She asked how you're doing. But you need to see through that dot, because when a woman is truly over you, she doesn't ask. She doesn't check. She doesn't want intel, she moves forward, but when she's still, emotionally invested, even if her pride won't let her admit it, she finds ways to orbit you without actually confronting you. And the easiest, safest method? She goes through. Others, the surveillance begins. Here's what's really happening. She's testing the waters, trying to confirm if the silence she's getting from you is real ... or just a bluff. She's hoping someone slips up and gives her the emotional report she can't get from you. Is he seeing someone? Did he mention me? Did he seem happy? Is he still hurting? She wants to know because your silence is unsettling. It's unnatural, at least to her. She expected anger, a reaction, even hate. But instead, she got nothing ... and that nothing is messing with her head ... so she moves to stage 5, indirect re-entry. Strategic curiosity masked as casual conversation. And that's your signal, not to respond, but to stay composed. Stay cold. Stay untouchable ... because the moment you break, even slightly, you flip the power dynamic right back to her. Why she needs a response, even indirectly. Understand this. Silence is not just absence. It's presence too. Your lack of reaction speaks volumes, louder than any emotional outburst ever could. It creates an imbalance she's desperate to fix. She wants confirmation that she still matters. She needs to know you're still emotionally reachable. Because if you are, she still holds the cards, and that's what most men get wrong. They hear she's been asking about them and think, maybe she still cares. Maybe I should reach out. But that's exactly what she wants. That's the trap. That's when she wins. She gets to play it cool while you come chasing answers. But if you don't, if you stay stoic, if you act as if her curiosity is just noise in the background, then you force her to confront the one reality she was trying to avoid. You're no longer available, not just physically, emotionally, and nothing is more terrifying to someone who once believed they'd always have a way back in. Let her talk, let her wonder. Let her spiral. You see, most women don't expect a man to stay silent for long. They expect ego, they expect drama, they expect retaliation. But when you give them none of that, when you stay quiet while they perform, it unnerves them. Because they're not used to being the one who has to ask, who has to check, who has to wonder. That was your role in her mind. So when you reverse that, when the woman who used to ignore your messages is now indirectly trying to read your mind, the game flips, and trust me, confusion creates craving. She starts replaying everything. Was she too cold? Did she misread the breakup? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he pretending, or has he really moved on? Those questions eat away at her confidence. They create self-doubt. And that's when your silence becomes more than absence. It becomes power. And let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation, it's about discipline. Emotional self-control. Protecting your peace from a woman who may not have truly loved you. She just loved having you react. The curious case of the happy post before this stage even happens, you probably notice something strange. Right after you go silent, she starts posting more . Suddenly her stories are full of club nights, group photos, and inspirational quotes about healing and freedom. But healing doesn't need an audience. And freedom doesn't need filters. She's not healing. She's performing . And what do performances need? An audience? She's still hoping you're watching. Still crafting content to make you feel something. And when you don't give her the reaction she's craving, she gets desperate. That's when she switches from public signals to private ones. She starts asking about you, quietly, carefully, through mutuals. Through DMs, through shared spaces she thinks you'll never hear about, but you do hear about it. And that's your cue to do the hardest and most powerful thing a man can do in that moment. Nothing. Because if she's talking, but you're not reacting, you're showing her the one truth she can't control. You've grown past the version of you she could break. You become the puzzle she can't solve. Here's a secret few men understand. Women are wired for emotional puzzles. If they can predict your next move, they lose interest. If they can't read your silence, they stay intrigued. You become the one who got away, not because you ran, but because you stood still while she played games, and nothing is more magnetic than mystery. That's why she's asking about you. That's why she needs data. That's why even if she says, "I'm over him," her behavior says otherwise. A woman who's over you doesn't try to understand you. She just lets you go. So don't get flattered when you hear she's been asking. Get focused. That's confirmation. Your silence is working. That the spell she tried to cast to make you chase, react, unravel, didn't land. You stayed grounded. You stayed stoic. You stayed in control. And now she's the one left chasing closure. The risk of breaking the silence. If you break silence at this stage, here's what happens. She gets relief. Her questions are answered. Her confusion dissolves. And the emotional high of getting back control kicks in. She flips the script. Now she gets to act cool again. The mystery is gone. She knows where you stand. She knows she still has power. You lose leverage. All the value you built by staying silent collapses. The upper hand? Gone. This is why you must stay emotionally invisible. Even if you hear she asked about you 5 times. Even if mutual friends say, "I think she still loves you," because maybe she does. But maybe she just misses control, and unless she comes to you directly, owns her feelings, and speaks with clarity, it doesn't matter. Indirect curiosity is not enough to earn your energy. Let her fight her own mind. The longer she doesn't hear from you, the more her mind fills in the blanks, and that, my friend, is where your real power lies, in letting her imagination do what your words never could. Because eventually, she hit a wall. No intel, no reaction. No closure. Just silence. And silence, when weaponized with purpose, is the loudest answer of all. In the end, she know the difference between the man she could manipulate and the man who grew too strong for her games. She know that the performance didn't work, that the stories didn't sting, that the silence didn't break you, it built you. She know that asking about you wasn't enough, that if she wanted access, she had to earn it. And she did single quotes final truths. What every man must remember if she's asking about you. You've already won a war she thought she could control. If she's posting for your attention, you've become her ghost, still present in her thoughts. If she's digging for answers and you're still silent, you've shifted the dynamic. Silence is not weakness. It's the strategy of men who know their worth. So the next time someone tells you, "Hey, she asked about you," smile, nod, say nothing, because if she truly cared, she'd come with her heart, not through a friend. And until then, stay untouchable, stay elevated, stay silent. Because that silence, that's when she starts to feel everything you never said, and that's when she realizes she didn't lose the man who chased her, she lost the man who finally stopped.